Hi everyone, Aldbar here. This is my solo walkthrough and guide to the level 14 heroic quest, Ghosts of Perdition, on the Elite difficulty. Enjoy. Hi everyone, Warjack here. Before we start, I'm going to drop over and pick up a hireling. What I'm going to take is the level 16 favorite soul hireling, and that's because he's got greater restoration and death ward, and also resurrection for good measure. This quest is one of the flagging quests in Necropolis Chain 4. You don't actually have to do these quests every time you want to flag. Once you've completed your sigil, you can access Litany of the Dead immediately. Here, I've opened up the map. You can see where the quest is located. Basically, the quickest way there is to stick to the left. You can run down in the valley if you want. It seems to be there's much less monsters over on the left side next to the wall, so we just want to get there without having to interact with things. That's where we would go. Also, after this big mountain, you come up to a part where either you can take a jump down to the valley or stay on the left. If you stay on the left, there's a chance you run into a beholder. If you go to the right, there's sometimes a flesh golem right over here next to this tower. Right before the quest, there's a little shrine you can stop if you need to use the shrine.
The corpses hanging from the tree of woe rustle ominously in the wind.
I think he said it wrong. It should be the tree of woe. Here I'm going to open up, well, the hireling. I don't actually really need him, but I'll explain later how you can use him. For one, I'm going to use the death ward because, well, 16 minutes of a death ward is better than my 7-minute clicky.
The tunnels run deep beneath the tree of woe. Moaning lost souls call out to you from within the frigid cave. Several philosophers mull curiously.
You need to talk to these guys, walk up to them and click on them for them to start moving.
The Wayward Philosophers gather on the ice.
As you can tell, this is a ice-themed quest, and basically everything is vulnerable to fire, so if you use fire on anything, it's very powerful. In the corner over here is a little collectible. It's easy to miss if you just stay on the path.
A thin layer of cracked ice covers the hull. Descending deeper into the glacial abyss, a voice calls to you. The habit must be stopped. Free me. I will help you.
Make sure you've got Death Ward on at all times because you can get trained for a whole bunch of negative levels. These guys love casting enervation, so make sure you're protected. Yeah, I'm trying to move backwards and I can't because my S key doesn't work. I'm stuck. It's really annoying. That's why you see me running side to side rather than just running backwards to kite these things. Try to get them both lined up so I can shoot them at the same time, but I can't move backwards. Here, start to work again.
Mysterious runes embedded.
Okay, the objective over here is we've got these two guys, one in this room and one in the room underneath us, and we have to kill them at the same time. Well, close-ish when it comes to time, but as you can see, if you try to drag him out of his room, he'll white dot and leave. So you can't drag them together like you do, let's say, with Fire and Ice and Tempest Spine. So I'm going to show you what the strategy is. Of course, you can split up your party. That's the way it was, I guess, intended to be done, but I'm doing it solo, so. Well, the first thing you should do is you have to hit him, attack him, and get him active, but don't kill him. This is very important. Second thing you need to do is to go clear out the hallway. Also, there's a collectible right behind the door. Again, one of those things that's easy to miss. There's Ice Reavers in this quest, and they do this cold dot damage over time that can really mess you up. So try to make sure you got some kind of cold resistance for them, especially on Elite. Again, not being able to move backwards is really annoying. Okay, there's an Ice Reaver stuck inside of the wall. I haven't been able to hit him. I don't know, whatever.
Arriving in the chamber beneath, you see the glowing rune more clearly.
Okay, here we go. Now we've got both brothers active. This is the first key step. You must get both of them out of the ice. Now I'm dragging this one close to the door so I don't have to run the whole room also. And I'm going to chip away at his health, and as soon as he's down, I'll run and kill the other one.
abbot is slain, but cannot pass on without his brother.
You don't have to run extremely fast, and you don't have to have extremely great DPS, but you'll need pretty good, I guess, DPS and speed. Potentially you could like leave a hireling behind, let him chip away at his health while you go down to the bottom, and either wait for him to be killed by the hireling, which I doubt, or at least hold him in place with a very low amount of health.
Freeing the soul-bound brothers from the abbot's tyranny opens the depths of the abyss and sends them to the afterlife together.
There you go. All in all, not too bad, and we can move on.
The familiar voice calls again, louder and clearer. You are close. Come to me.
This quest is pretty linear. There's not a lot of backtracking. I mean, other than the part with the two brothers.
Imprisoned in the cell before you is a dreadful doom sphere. Free me from this prison, and the abbot will fall.
Okay, we've got these statues made out of ice. You start attacking it, and it will spawn a few of these lost souls. If you attack it more, it will spawn a huge one. And objective is to break the statue. You can't actually deal the last points of damage to the statue before you kill the big lost soul. It means the statue will go into like a negative, but it won't actually break until you actually kill the big one.
Shattering the frozen remains of the giants is the only way to release them from their tortured existence.
Each one of these statues is like sitting on top of the pressure plate who's activating the seal on the doom sphere, so you have to destroy it. That's basically how it works. Here you can see I'm trying to break the statue, but I can't because I haven't killed the big lost soul, whatever they're called.
The second soul has been released. The souls of these giants are bound to the protective seal that imprisons the doomsday. The ghostly beholder addresses you. The souls of the conservators are free, but
Okay, once you've done this, we can now face the doom sphere, but first I'm gonna go use the shrine. There's only one in this quest, and it's a use it or lose it. Also, if you're enjoying this video, please hit like and subscribe. I'd appreciate it very much. Thank you. As soon as someone approaches the doom sphere, or as soon as the party approaches the doom sphere, it will, well, activate the doom sphere fight. I'm again going to use my hireling only if I need him for the Greater Restoration. Other than that, I'll just leave him parked over here. I also have Greater Restoration as a potion, or Restoration as a potion. I'm just aware that if you don't have Restoration as an ability or as a potion, so I think this hireling is the best viable option. You don't need anything else. You don't have to have some kind of special build.
The ice crumbles under your feet as the traitorous Doomsphere attacks.
Okay, here we go. So this fight is going to be us fighting the Doomsphere. We'll keep on falling down into these arenas, beating on the Doomsphere and then falling again. Now there's an optional that pops up to kill some minions, and I'll show you how to do that. First of all, you should stick to the wall in the corner where this line goes all the way down to the bottom. As long as you stay in the corner, you have a very good chance that the Doomsphere will not attack you at all. From here you can just stand and you can snipe all the enemies. They spawn in slowly, so this next fight becomes basically a little bit sluggish. We got 8 more to go. And as they come out, I'll shoot them. Usually when you do this with a pug, this fight sequence is a complete panic fest with people just swinging and jumping around and everything goes crazy. Or you've got that one player who's OP and he single-handedly kills the Doomsphere while everybody else just floats down behind him. So this is me showing you an easy way to solo this fight without too much stress. Out of the 4 fights, so far I've always had at least one fight where the Doomsphere actively comes towards you and starts attacking you. I'll explain later what exactly his attack does, but for now all you need to know is as long as you stick to the corner, to the proper corner, and I'll show you again next time which one that is, you have a very good chance of being safe for 3 out of 4 fights. Out of the 4 fights, each one of them is its own objective, and if you complete all 4 objectives, you will then be able, you'll complete the overall arcing objective. So I'll show you what that is soon. Anyways, once I've done my optionals, so now I'm going to focus my attack on the Doomsphere. Also, I'm going to open up over here so I can have an eye on my stats at all time, and we'll get into that just in a second.
The frozen floor shatters as the battle rages on.
Okay, so now look carefully which corner. You fall down this square. One of the corners will lead on both walls all the way down to the floor. That's the one you want to focus on. Make sure you press forward and you stick into the corner. Right before you get to the bottom, usually you'll be hit by this gazing beam, but as soon as you hit the floor, it stops. Okay, for the second round, now we have also these ice flinchers. The beginning of the round is always a little bit intense because you already have a few monsters spawned. But after that, it just comes down to waiting for them to spawn one at a time and killing them. See, you can't actually target these ice flinchers when they're far away. You have to just shoot in the right direction and then you can focus on them. Also, I'm trying to be careful not to hit the Doomsphere because at a quarter mark he drops down and then a half and then 3/4, so I don't want to accidentally drop down and not be able to complete the objective anymore. And Aldbar here with just a small little fun fact. When I was editing this video and putting in the music, I was debating what track to put in this fight. So my initial thought was put in some kind of action track based on the way this fight usually goes. Now when I'm reviewing this fight, when it's like so passive and just standing in one place and slowly, shooting monsters, it's kind of slow, but putting a slow track on it would make the whole thing just boring and I don't know, sleepy, and people would probably skip it. So I decided to stick together and just stick with the original idea of an action-packed track and just embrace the irony of it. You're just standing in a corner and shooting things as they come out one at a time. Well, I hope you enjoy it. Yeah, this is really one of those fights that if you do it like this, I mean, even if you don't stay away for the optionals, just hit the Doom Sphere. Knowing this trick makes everything way, way easier. To be honest, before starting on working this video, I've never actually experienced doing all the optionals, and I'm pretty sure that most DDO players have never done all 4 optionals. Maybe the guy who filled up the wiki, but other than that, probably no one. Again, I'm going to stick to that one corner that goes all the way down to the floor, and make sure I stick all the way into the corner in the middle. Here again, you see I've been hit with that gazing beam, and it stops as soon as I hit the floor. And again, once you get to the floor, there'll already be a few monsters spawned in, so the beginning of this round is a little bit tougher than the rest of it. This time we get also these weeps and also the mages. Yeah, but as soon as you've cleared the first few monsters, and now it's just waiting for them to spawn in one at a time, taking them out. As long as you don't leave your corner, you're safe. Again, this is a strategy even if you're not planning to do the optionals. Just stand in the corner. You don't have to be attacked by the Doom Sphere. Probably should explain what the Doom Sphere is going to do. Well, what the Doom Sphere does actually is he attacks you with a debuff. And, well, it attacks you with a few different things. Tries to give you negative levels and stuff, but I've got already Death Ward. Luckily for us, this Doom Sphere doesn't dispel all of your magic. What he does do is try to hit you with, well, Innovation, who hits you with negative levels, but if you got Death Ward on, you're fine. The other thing he hits you with is Piercing Gaze. Piercing Gaze drains your constitution. That means your hit points will start going down, and worst of all, you'll become incapacitated. All of a sudden, you'll become helpless. Once you're helpless, well, you're useless. You can't do anything. And that's why I've got the Hireling. So even if I'll be doing this solo and not for a video, I might want to bring along the Hireling just in case I A, want to have a long clicky for Death Ward that won't finish mid-fight. B, if I want to use Greater Restoration, I can call him to me any second and ask him to cast Greater Restoration on me. And C, if I do kick the bucket, he can always resurrect me. Anyways, now I've done the third optional, we can go back to attacking the Doom Sphere.
The Doom Sphere's rage is barely contained.
Yeah, and this is going to be the final time. Again, dropping down the hole, and I'm going to stick towards the wall in the corner that leads all the way down to the bottom. As I mentioned before, 1 out of 4 times he will actively come after you. As you can see over here, he's hitting me with his Piercing Gaze, and he's debuffing me, taking out my constitution. Luckily for me, these rooms get bigger and bigger as you drop down. So now that I'm the bottom floor, the 4th floor, it's actually pretty reasonable for me to get out of range. So I'm going to keep on sticking to the far walls and hopefully find a spot where he's no longer facing me. Just like here. That's it. Now I'm safe. I've gotten out of range. If I would have been unlucky and it would have happened on the 1st floor, I would have had to run around for the entire fight and keep on healing myself. Here I'm just going to use, I just use Greater Restoration, the potion. Sorry, it's actually Restoration, but yeah. I use just the potion rather than calling the Hireling because I don't want the Hireling running around and calling attention to me. But if I'd have been stuck and he would have been running after me anyways, so I wouldn't have anything to lose and I'd call the Hireling and that's it. Yeah, that's it. Finished. Basically, this is simple. I'm just going to keep on firing at the spawns as they come in. This final run, they come in actually much faster. They spawn a few at a time. Well, better for you. The video is going to be shorter. You don't have to wait for it as much. Yeah, I would just like to say thank you to everybody who's been watching these videos. 2020 is definitely a interesting year when it comes to the channel. Put up a whole bunch of videos and got a whole bunch of subscribers and a lot of great feedback. So thank you very much, everybody. And well, I hope the next year will be much better. And well, as far as the channel is considered, I hope to post and upload many more interesting things and continue to entertain you. And I hope you find it useful and enjoy it. Well, thank you. Yeah, thank you very much to everyone who's been giving me support. It's really fun. I enjoy doing these runs and hearing your feedback. It's very nice. Yeah, that's it. We've done all 4. I hope you enjoy this full run. Again, I'm pretty sure there's a lot of players who've never actually seen what this looks like. Hope you liked it.
The Doomsphere stops fighting and beckons you closer. It was the only way.
Talking to him is going to end the quest. And because I've completed all 4 optionals, the floor breaks away and you get an optional chest. This is the Necro 4 special optional chest. Each quest has a special optional chest. Yeah, well, it's almost it. That's it for this quest. Still got a few more points I'd like to point out before you go, so stick around. I'll show you a few more, well, important things I think you should know about this quest. So, just a minute.
The corpses hanging from the tree of woe rustle ominously in the wind.
Okay, first thing is when it comes to walking to the quest. Just like before, I'm going to stick to the left over here. There's nothing really special about that. But I did want to show off what I was talking about before when it comes to picking your route when it comes to running to this quest. You might be running to the quest after the group and have a whole bunch of monsters already spawned in because they attracted them. So that's why you should keep it in mind. If you're a new player and you're running to this quest by yourself, you can definitely run into trouble. So here's what I was talking about before. Here on the left, I ran into this. This is one of the 2 optional locations where he spawns. Right over here, instead of jumping off to the right, I got hit by the beholder. I'm not really worried about dying, but as you can see, he hit me for negative levels. And that's what that shrine next to the entrance is very useful for. You can get rid of those negative levels and come into the quest fresh. Okay, now for killing the 2 brothers at the same time. This is something that you might do by mistake and cost you a lot of time. If you kill the first brother and then you go and kill the second brother, when the brother comes out of the ice, it will reset the fight no matter what the status is. So right now I've killed brother number 2. Now that brother number 1 is coming out of the ice, it just resets the fight for me. So it's very important to make sure that he's already active. That means he's up and alive before I kill the other one. That's why it's very important to get both of them, well, hit both of them, make sure they're both out of the ice, then kill one and one kill the other. If you kill one of them while the other one is still in the ice and not active, you'll have this problem that when you get close to him and call him out of the ice, he resets the fight. And you'll be stuck in this endless loop and never complete the quest. So anyways, that's it. I hope it explained the mechanic. I know it can be a little bit confusing. Basically, just stick to that. Make sure they're both out of the ice before you go and attack them. And then you can kill both of them. Anyways, if you've benefited from this guide or if you've enjoyed this video, please hit like and subscribe. Thank you very much for watching. And I will see you in another video. Bye.